Okay, everybody, this is Brian Keith Noonan, and on yesterday's High Noon Live, I was talking about time and designing your life like a boss. And part of that is designing your calendar based on your true purpose and having clarity with that, which is some foundational work. Really, I think all clarifying of purpose and goals and scheduling and priority that informs that scheduling is all foundational work, but essential foundational work. So we're doing our own spin on it, highly influenced in this case by The One Thing by Gary Keller. And I promised you I would show you on a Google Calendar what I mean by the counterintuitive and unconventional way that I create my calendar that I highly recommend trying for yourself. So I got a blank calendar of a Gmail account that I don't use the calendar for, and I'm going to just show you over a 3-month period, which you should actually do for the whole year, but what a 3-month period of designing my calendar looks like. And I believe you can see the calendar I'm talking about, this blank calendar. And I've got on another screen here my real calendar, and I'm just going to be transplanting some things over so you get the idea. So what we talked about was putting in your vacations and long weekends, your personal time, your family time, and then your work time in that order. Okay, so we're going to go through and put some of that stuff on. Now, you may have heard me mention that I am taking Mondays as my second Sunday. So that counts as a long weekend or day off or vacation day. So I put in as an all-day event here, second Sunday. And that's going to be an all-day event. And I'm going to call that purple because purple is the color of royalty and richness. And so I think vacation days, etc., are part of the richness of life. And rest and recovery and relaxation and recreation are just as important as work. What I want to do is make that repeat, by the way. This is giving me all kinds of suggestions so that, because it thinks it's the first time I'm doing a Google Calendar. So that repeats weekly on Monday. All right. So therefore, it'll populate each Monday with second Sunday. Then I'm going to put in a vacation, which is from the 25th for 2 weeks. That is also all day, and it repeats, and use a custom repetition every 1 day for, let's just say, 14 occurrences. Okay, so that would be 14 days. I could have it end on a certain date or whatever if I wanted to. Since I already have my second Sunday in purple, but I'm also going to put that in purple. Okay, you can color code things however you want, but there we go. So I have my vacation on there. It happens to be the same color as second Sunday. So in this instance, you might want it to have a different color or what, but Portugal, being in Portugal, is going to supersede second Sunday. All right, so back to today. putting in vacations on long weekends. So if there are holiday weekends in here, I like to take any national holidays also as long weekends. So St. Patrick's Day, if I wasn't already taking long weekends before I instituted second Sunday in my life, I would have made this a long weekend. So if you don't do second Sunday or something like it, go ahead and give yourself Monday off or whatever the holiday is, if there is one. I like to err on the side of, like, tax day is a great day to take off. I like to err on the side of vacation. All right, Easter. Okay, so these could all be long weekends in the next couple months. Then I do, and your day will start when it starts. Okay, mine is skewed to start on the later side, and I've recently actually updated this a little bit, but I'm going to just put in, and I have to change some things around. Actually, now that I'm doing these high noon lives, I need a little more time before noon to collect myself and prepare for that and take care of my personal well-being and so forth. So I'm going to just put for 10 a.m. Okay. I call it 30 to Thrive. All right. It's from Tony Robbins. And that is basically some reading and meditation that I do, accompanied by a strong cup of coffee. And I do that for a half hour, and I just will leave that blue. Okay. And I have repeating every weekday. I do that at least. As a matter of fact, that one is not every weekday, it's every day, daily. Need that meditation every day. All right, so that's in there. Then I have workout. That could be taking a walk, it could be doing some exercise, it could be any number of things. It could be taking a bike ride, whatever. So I'm counting that for, I'll leave that in as an hour. You know what, I actually put it in, I'll put it in for a half hour, okay? And I'll leave this blue, or maybe I'll just make a slightly different shade, so I can easily differentiate the events on my calendar. And this will repeat every weekday. Okay. Then I have taken a shower. Okay, so shower and eat something. Shower and eat. And I'll just make that yellow as sort of a differentiation from the other colors. And these colors can mean what you want them to mean. So you can color code it the way you want. I just highly suggest color coding it in a way that makes sense to you and also differentiates these events, because what you're going to see as this fills up, if it's all one color, it's a lot harder to look at a glance and see what's going on. All right. So this also repeats every weekday. As a matter of fact, that's every day, daily. Okay. Then I have High Noon Live, this interesting experiment of live Facebook that I've been doing. When I have appointments that I need to show up for with other people, with one or more other people, I make them red. It stands out on my calendar better. You can have notifications and things built into this, which is a good thing. I have mine on my real calendar set to an hour, but it's a good thing it'll come up on your phone. Use one calendar, guys. One calendar where everything is in one place, and have it on your phone and have it on your computer, and that's where everything goes, so you don't miss anything. Okay. High Noon Live is actually going to be a custom repetition. It's going to be every week. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I've decided. Okay. And I'm going to say never end. So there I go with that. And you'll see in the following weeks, it's all setting up. Okay. Then I have my one thing time block. And if you read the one thing, book The One Thing by Gary Keller that you hear me talking about all the time, it talks about having a 4-hour concentrated work block. Okay. Now, realistically, this high noon is in addition to that. So it could be overlapping, or I could just put it here. So I'm just going to go and put one thing time block. All right, and this is going to be for 4 hours. 4 hours of concentrated work on your business is really all you need. As a matter of fact, as you may have heard me mention, it is on the higher side. Some people do a lot less. Most people do a lot more. So if you're doing a lot more, talk to me about ways to streamline that, make it more efficient, make yourself more productive during the time you are spending on work and on your business, to cut it down and make sure that you are taking care of yourself and your loved ones enough in the process of building your business. So the one thing is every weekday, and I'm just going to gray that out like that. Okay. Appointments would be set in here whenever they are scheduled, but for the most part, my appointments with the groups I coach and my clients are in that block, right? They count as part of my one thing, which in my case is transformational coaching and teaching. That's what I love doing. Okay, so I'm doing that, or the business of actually doing that, or the business of doing that, which is having conversations with prospective clients, marketing, enrolling those clients, et cetera, the business aspects of my business and the job aspect of my business, which is the actual coaching. I'm doing those two things, one of those two things, ideally during those times. Okay. You may want to break this up 2 hours and 2 hours, or however you see fit. Maybe you're working around a schedule as an employee or a student. And so there's certain things on your calendar that you absolutely have to do at specific times. So feel free to adjust this. But the point is that you're putting in 4 hours of focused time on your business every, say, 4 days a week. Okay. 5 days a week. Let's just say 5 days a week. I'm going to adjust this here because with my second Sunday, it does not happen on Mondays. Okay. So that's my new schedule. Just realized I have to do that on my own calendar too. All right. So this is a personal day. Once again, it's like my second Sunday. So I'm doing stuff around the house, blah, 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 whatever I want. Go on a day trip, go to the movies, do what I feel like doing. And This video is turning out longer than I thought, but I'll try to move it along. Okay. I'm putting in dinner and family time. I have workout or break here at 5. So if I didn't get my workout in, or if I want to do more exercise, I can, or I can take a break. I can meditate again. I could do any number of things that may have eluded me in the previous hours of the day, or I can just chill and give my mind a break, not necessarily meditating, but I could do some more reading, or I could take a nap. I could do any of those things. Okay. So I'm going to leave that purple color and that blue color, and that does repeat every weekday. As you see, this calendar is filling up with things, but there's a lot of space built into it. Okay. There's vacations built into it. There's family time going to be built into it here, and so forth. I'm just going down the page here because I wanted you this. It's easier to keep track of as I do that, right? But really, what I should be doing is doing it in the order that I said. So I apologize. I'm not going to reshoot this video, but hopefully you're getting the idea. So let me continue from here, from this point, doing it that way. I'm going to have here, my calendar says dinner, chill, family time. I'm spending with my kids, have a meal with my kids, what have you. Okay. And that's for an hour and a half. And that repeats every day. Okay, so I got caught up with the process of doing this video here, and I did not do this in the order that I've been preaching to you about. So I'm going to reiterate why we're doing that. And I make this dark blue because I think of my boys. And so that makes me think of that. All right. What the hell? All right, there we go. Oh, you can click to change the color. This is new. Nice. Okay. New little features here. Google Calendar I'm discovering as I do this. All right. I'm not going to put in my appointments, but like I said, they would be in red and they will be scheduled primarily between here and there. If someone says, I want to have an appointment with you before noon, my answer is I don't take business calls before noon. And now at this point with High Noon Live, I don't take them before 1. All right. And I do not take them on Monday. I might take them over the weekend if there's some compelling reason, but primarily not then either. So I have a 4-day block when I'm doing business with prospects, clients, my groups, and the world at large, marketing and so forth. Here's an important one here. I call it the weekly brain dump and target planning. I like to do it on a Sunday evening. I'm relaxed and I'm taking a look at the week ahead and starting to plan and prioritize what's going to be going on. So 1 hour a week. I make this green because it leads to abundance and money and cash, but also the growing of the business. Okay, it's cluing you into a little my brain of why certain things are certain colors, and they're gonna meet. They're gonna be whatever they are to you. Okay. On Saturdays, we have kids movie night. Okay. So typically we're having dinner together and dinner and a movie. And to differentiate it from the normal dinner, I will make it this color, and this repeats every week. On Saturday, and that would be typically from like 8 to 10. And in this would typically, dinner, this runs together. Don't be worried if you have a little bit of space in here. A little bit of space. Somebody brought up on the call the other day, Jimmy Labonte, who's been working with me through a couple of my groups and one-on-one, brought up that he leaves some space in his calendar so that he has a little buffer time. So this type of space would especially be important if you're commuting or there's other travel involved back and forth, to the office, or you got to pick up your kids or whatever, and put that in there as well. But I'm not afraid of space, but I like to keep it to a minimum because it's, if I'm working from my true purpose and what my real priorities are, everything will be accounted for here on this calendar. Okay. I have on Sundays, which could happen on Saturday or Sunday, but I call it, and this is from 12-week year, I call it a family breakout. So say from 3 to 6, just say family time, whatever you want to call it. So we'll take a day trip, we'll go to the movies, we'll play games, we'll have Nerf wars, we'll do whatever we want to do together. And this could happen Saturday or Sunday, but I just put it on for Sundays. Okay, because it typically doesn't happen both days, but it could. It very well could. So that's weekly. I didn't make the time right, so. Now, as you do this the first time, let's see. So as you do this, also my calendar is on 24-hour time, and then this new one I'm making is on regular time. So I use military time or 24-hour time in my head and in my life, and I don't want to use it to confuse you guys, but it's confusing me from translating one thing to the other. Okay, I have when my kids go to bed, right? Boys to bed. Yes, they're getting older and they're going to bed at like 10 o'clock. So I just have this on here as a reminder to me, if I haven't talked to them in a little while, maybe that I haven't caught up on their day yet, didn't happen to see them in person, whatever the case is. I have this on here as a reminder so that I'll give them a call or go see them or whatever the case is. Okay. On Saturday and Sunday, I have something I like to call my permission to fuck off. You can call it whatever you want, but this is basically time that there's no demands on me. Okay, so I take from 10 to 12 on Saturdays and Sundays to do that. Now, I'm also going to put in a couple of other appointments because there's things that get scheduled over that sometimes. All right, but it's just flow time. It's just time for me to collect my thoughts. I can read, I can watch a movie, I could sleep in, whatever the case is. Okay, again, rest and recreation. All right, and for instance, there's a meditation group that I am going to, which is earlier on Saturday. So it's rather Sunday, which is 9:30. So there's the Charleston Tibetan Society, and that goes under the qualification or the color of richness of life. And that repeats every Sunday. So the PTFO time, or permission to fuck off time, is I can schedule something over that by choice, but in general, having that feeling that I don't have to do anything is powerful. So I hope you see how this is shaping up. And this did run longer than I thought, but hopefully you're getting the idea of how a fuller looking calendar actually gives you more freedom and more peace and less stress, because you know that your rest, recreation, and vacation is taken care of. Your personal well-being is taken care of. Your family is taken care of. And your work is taken care of. So I'm going to wrap this up. And I think you guys got the idea. Let me know in the comments how you do, or shoot me a private message. And after you do this for the first time, I was starting to say before, you will guesstimate these times by when things are happening now or when you want them to happen. And then each week during your target planning, you can take a look at the calendar and say, well, is this happening at all? Right? Am I working out? Am I reading and meditating? What have you? Is it happening at all? And if it is, if it's not, why not? And if it is it happening at the time that I've set out for it? So your health and well-being, your key relationships, and your work should be represented on the calendar in that order, so that you could be at your best for yourself and everyone that you serve and everyone who's depending on you. And you also have focused times to dive deep into your business and continue to grow that so it flourishes and you achieve the things that you want to achieve. So this is Brian Keith Noonan, the One Coach, because life and business are not separate for entrepreneurs. This is a supplemental video to High Noon Live, my 4-day-a-week live session for entrepreneurs and like-minded individuals to get together and get some ideas to take them higher. I'll see you Monday at high noon.